Hi, I'm Laura and welcome to class today. Today's class is going to be a standing workout and we're going to focus on the arms and the hips. We do need 2 dumbbells today, but if you don't have dumbbells, feel free to grab some tins out of your kitchen cupboard or grab 2 bottles of water. Whatever you grab, make sure that they are of equal weight and pop them down on the floor in front of you. As always, make sure that you're being kind to your body, and anything that doesn't feel good, please take a rest, miss it out, or choose something that you know is good for your body instead. Now my weights are about 1.5 kilograms, I think. So stick around that weight, maybe a little bit less if you know that you can go higher. Again, choose what is best for your body. And we're going to get going. So beginning with our standing alignment, and I'm going to go on a diagonal line for this. So bringing your feet directly underneath the pelvis, and what I like to do is line up my 2 pelvic bones with the centre of my knees, the centre of my ankles, and making sure that my knees and my toes are pointing in the same direction. Once I've got that alignment, lift your 10 toes off the ground, splay them really wide, and place each toe back down individually onto the floor. Feeling now that the big toe, the little toe, and the centre of the heel are heavily weighted on the mat or on the ground, because we don't have a mat today. Softness through the knees now, and then one hand to the lower belly, one hand to your lower back. And beginning with a backwards tilt, tucking the tailbone under, and then a forwards tilt, lifting the tailbone up. And as you move backwards and forwards with the pelvis, try and allow the knee bend to stay exactly the same. And we're trying to make our backwards and our forwards tilt about the same as well. So making sure that we're not over efforting the forwards tilt and finding the backwards tilt really difficult. Feel that we're going equally forwards and equally back. Now gradually start to make your forwards and backwards tilt smaller and smaller until you bring your pelvis and we let it land between those 2 movements. Bring your hands to the front of your pelvis to make a triangle, and then just check in that your 2 pelvic bones and your pubic bone are level with each other. And that triangle that they create is parallel to the wall in front. Elongate the spine, so lift the crown of the head up to the ceiling, and oppositionally feel how the sacrum and the tailbone, as well as the 2 sit bones, reach down towards the ground. So we've got that feeling of lengthening through the lower back, lifted up, creating space through the spine. Hands to the front bottom ribs and bring them to the sides, and start with your thoracic breathing now. So inhaling, expanding the ribs wide, exhaling to narrow through the rib cage. Now each time you breathe in, feel that your hands are getting wider away from each other because the rib cage is expanding. And as you exhale, notice that the hands get closer towards each other because the rib cage is narrowing. Now keeping your breath into the rib cage, we're going to use our next out breath to draw the navel towards the spine and lift the pelvic floor up. So engaging with our deep abdominal muscles. Continue to feel that engagement as you breathe. Here's where the tricky part becomes, because we have to breathe into the rib cage, not the belly, to maintain that abdominal connection. Check into this throughout the class. Now as we breathe out this next time, release the arms. Take an in breath, lift the shoulders. Use your out breath to roll them back and down. And let's just take 3 more. And each time the shoulders drop down, feel the neck get longer, feel the crown of the head grow taller. When the shoulders come back and down this next time, we're going to keep them there. On your in breath, rotate your head over one shoulder. And then exhale to center, inhale to the opposite side. And just 1 more each way, in a nice stretch through the sides of the neck. And as we come back to center, we're going to bring our pinky fingers into our hip creases. On your in-breath, start to tip the body forwards, the hips go back. So this is a hip hinge. The body stays in neutral and the legs stay straight. Press the hips forwards, lift the body up to come back up to standing. Now the only thing that changes here is that the body tips forwards from the hips. The spine moves in space, but we're not shifting from our neutral alignment. So we're trying to keep that feeling of pubic bone lifting, tailbone and sit bones reaching, The crown of the head lifting and those front ribs staying closed. And as we keep a neutral spine, we're going to feel how our deep postural muscles are working. So the front of the abdominal is working, the back muscles are working. Now what tends to happen when we come forwards is the spine will round. So the tailbone will drop, the shoulders will round forwards, and this is bringing our spine into flexion. Can you do the opposite? So reach the tailbone and sit bones back, reach the chest forwards, abdominal connection, and upper back connection. Now that way we're going to get a better hamstring stretch. So as we come forwards, look to find that stretch at the back of the legs, so widening through the sit bones. And as we lift, the sit bones narrow to start to engage the hip extensors, the glutes and the hamstrings. We're just going to do this one more time. And this is an action that we're going to come back to a little bit later on. So we just need to make sure that we're able to keep that alignment. Now this time, coming into a small hip hinge, diagonal line through the spine, we're going to bend the knees into a squat. As we come into our squat, weight into the heels, push into the heels to drive all the way back up. And we're going to continue with this. So sitting back into your imaginary chair, driving up through the heels to lift. So we should feel the toes nice and light during this squat. And our knees are tracking in the same line as our second and third toe. And the knees come no further forwards than the centre of the ankles. If they come further forwards than the centre of the ankles, it's because you're doing more knee bend than hip bend. We want to try and make sure that we're getting equal knee and hip bend in our squat. And we're just going to do one more. Now this time we're going to come forwards, but it's going to be to grab our weights. So take a nice steep knee bend. Grab your weights. Now if a narrow squat here is too difficult to grab the weights, you might want to go a little bit wider with your feet to be able to grab the weights a little bit easier. But when you come back up, bring your feet back to a parallel position, right underneath the narrow pelvis position that we set up at the beginning. Now arms down to the sides of your body and just let the weights elongate the arms down to the floor. The chest and the upper back are as wide as each other, and we feel that growth through the spine. So crown of the head up, tailbone and sacrum down. Now on your next in-breath, lead with the back of the hands, float the arms to shoulder height. On your out-breath, lower the arms back down. So at the moment the palms face behind you, the back of the hands face forwards. Now as we lift here, the weights are going to force our spine to go backwards. So we've got to feel our abdominals lift us over the pelvis, and almost try and keep your weight over your toes a little bit more. Now as you lift your arms, draw your shoulder blades down. So we're initiating from our back muscles, that feeling of sliding your armpits towards your waist. As we lower, turn the palms out, turn the palms back. Now we rotate the arm bones from the upper arm, okay, from the shoulder joint. So we want to make sure that we're not just twisting the forearm. We do have a pivot joint there, but we're working from where our upper arm bone meets our shoulder. So we're turning the biceps in, we're turning the biceps out. We're just going to do one more. And as you turn the biceps out and the palms face forwards, feel how your collarbones widen. Your shoulder blades flatten into the back of your rib cage. Use your next out breath this time to press the weights up. Use your in breath to lower back down. So you're going to get a slightly different sensation in the arms, in the upper back, when we turn the palms up. Nice soft elbows, but without bending them, so arms stay as straight as possible without locking. And the real challenge here is to keep our alignment through our torso. So not allowing the arms lifting, the weights to bring us forwards or backwards into flexion or extension. Now we're going to lift up and stay up. Elbows stay fixed in space, as well as the upper arm bones. On your out breath, bicep curl. On your in breath, reach back out. And we've got 7 more. Now imagine your elbows are resting on a tabletop. We're not allowing them to lift off that tabletop, and we can't drop them down. Keep the shoulder blades sliding down, keep that feeling of rib cage closure, pubic bone lifting, sit bones dropping. Now we've got 2 more, and last one. We extend the arms all the way out, lower them down, and this time turn the palms to face inwards towards you. On your in-breath, raise the arms to shoulder height. So this time we're doing a lateral raise with the arms. Previously we did a frontal raise. So as we lift this time, I want you to just have a look out of the corner of your eye in your peripheral vision and just make sure that you can see both of your arms. So as we lift, we're keeping down slightly forward of the shoulders so that we're staying in line with the shoulder girdle anatomy. If we go behind, we're going to be creating pinching in the shoulder, which doesn't always feel kind. And also this allows the shoulder blades to flatten onto the rib cage better. Now we're going to do one more, and as we lower, we're going to stay low, and again we're going to rotate the arm bones outwards, rotate the arm bones inwards. Keep that sensation of shoulder blades flattening into the rib cage as we externally rotate, outwardly rotate the arms. Chest wide. I'm really feeling the work that my center has to do, my core. And remember, your core's not just your abdominals, it's your back muscles, upper, lower, it's your hip muscles, pelvic floor, your breathing muscles, and all the muscles around your glutes, your hips. Now last time we stay out. We exhale this time, press the arms up. Inhale to lower, and remember to lift the arms, we drive the shoulder blades gently down, and again we're making sure the arms are in your peripheral vision. Now I can feel my rib cage tipping towards my tighter side, so I'm trying to level my shoulders, level my rib cage over my pelvis. Last one this time, we raise and we stay up, high bicep curl again, so this time we come in, the elbows stay wide, and then extend. Again, your elbows are resting on the top of the table, so we're not allowing them to drop or lift. We're keeping them fixed. This is going to work the shoulders, and it's going to isolate the biceps. So the shoulders are having to do an isolation in their contraction. They're having to stay contracted. And last 3, 2, last 1. Now we're going to bend in halfway, and you're going to turn your palms to face forwards, everybody. Squeeze the arms in. Think of the chest doing the work. Now as you open your arms, shoulder blades retract into the spine. Now we stay here, reach the elbows outwards to protract the shoulders, retract, and close. So as we close the arms, the shoulder blades widen on your upper back. As we open the arms, the shoulder blades retract. Now we keep this position. Reach the arm bones and the elbows away from the center of your chest. Notice your shoulder blades open on your upper back. Now do the opposite. Draw the arm bones into your shoulder sockets without lifting the shoulders up. Shoulder blades narrow on your upper back. Reach back and in. So if I just pop my weights down, you're going to keep going with that. Shoulder blades on my upper back. So you won't be able to see with this top on. But as you close the arms, okay, chest press, shoulder blades widen. As you open back out to the side, shoulder blades slide in. As you reach the arm bones out of your shoulder socket, they open. As you draw them back in, they retract. So the shoulder blades, both movements are essentially doing an elevator door action. Now whichever repetition you're on, whichever phase of the repetition you are on now, complete this repetition, widening, narrowing. When you get back to your wide position, turn your palms in, reach the arms out, lower them down, and release. Just give your shoulders a roll all the way back and down. Now we're going to rest our weights and our hands on our pelvic bones now, keeping the body upright. Take a knee bend. So the knees bend forwards over the toes, and we're trying to keep the sit bones and the tailbone over the back of the heels. And then press into the feet and lift. So Different to a squat, the weight goes back into the heels on a squat, and you're going to feel in a knee bend or a plie that your weight is equal between the toes and your heels. So if by any chance we're feeling that the heels are more weighted, it's probably because the hips are going back and the chest is going forwards. So I always try and imagine the back of my body sliding up and down an imaginary wall behind me. Straighten the legs, keep them straight. Use your next breath to press the balls of the feet down, lift the heels, and then lower. The body goes up vertically and down vertically. So we're trying not to get this sway forwards and backwards. And I want you to resist. So pushing something down underneath the heels as we lower, lifting the heels, resisting the head going up, lengthening towards the ceiling. So we're going to do 2 more, and we're going to combine our plie or knee bend with our heel raise. How still can you keep your body? Now when the heels lower, inhale, bend the knees, exhale, stretch. Inhale, rise, exhale, lower. Keep going. Now the breath pattern is one that I like. If you want to choose a different breath pattern, that's absolutely fine. Remember, in Pilates, we want to make sure that we coordinate our movement with our breath. And I always try and think of your breath being your music. Okay, well, there's no movement without breath. Now we're going to go a little bit quicker. So as the heels lower, the knees bend. As the legs straighten, the heels lift. And quicker even more, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, lift. How still is your torso? And 4, 3, 2, 1. So we should feel that work. Lower the heels down. Turn your palms to face forwards, elbows into the front of the rib cage. We're going to do our plie and bicep curl. So low bicep curl this time. Now, even though we haven't got our hands on our pelvis now, I want you to still keep the same feeling that you had through your torso and your pelvis. So we're not allowing any shift to happen. We're just going to do 2 more of these because we're going to coordinate the arms and the legs together in a moment. Now, when we lower the arms down, turn the palms in, and we do a lateral raise and lower. Rise up and lower. Feel the lift up from the feet through the body all the way to the crown of the head. And just 3 more. 2. Last one. Now we plie and bicep curl. Straighten, rise, lateral raise. Keeping adding together. And rise. Last one like this. We're going to combine them so we go a little bit quicker. Lower and bend bicep curl. Rise and lift. So the arms are moving quicker because the legs are moving quicker. So it's like the arms have got to follow what the legs are doing. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, right arm does the bicep curl, left arm does the lateral raise. Plie. Switch arms and rise. This is where the coordination happens. Switch and bend. Switch and rise. Now, because we're doing 1 arm bicep curl, 1 arm lateral raise, you'll notice how the weight of the arm that's opening out to the side wants to make the body side bend. Can you keep both sides of the body equally lengthened? So I'm almost having to work the opposite side of my body more. Last one. Now we change sides. So we plie, left arm bicep curls first, right arm bicep curls second. So we've changed arms. Does it feel different on this side? Does it feel different to do a plie with the left arm bicep curling? What feels different? Has anything changed? Is the brain still working with us? Try not to think about it too much. Last one. And lower down. Rise up. Bend the knees. Rise up. Bend the knees. So the heels are not lowering. And lower. Stay down. Heels lower. lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower, stay up and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Straighten the legs, lower the heels, and just go through a foot pedal to release the legs, the feet and the ankles. Okay, slightly different movement now. So we start with the arms at the sides of our body. We're going to bring our hands up to the front of our shoulders. So our palms face forwards, our knuckles face backwards, or the back of the hands face back towards us. Right arm goes up to the ceiling, palm face forwards. Left arm goes down, palm faces back. Both arms meet back over your shoulders, change sides. So the arm that goes overhead, palm faces forwards. Arm that goes down, palm faces back. So we inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Now what I try and do with my weights and my hands is keep them as close to my body as possible. I'm not hitting my body, but I'm thinking of trying to squeeze them in. And I'm really trying to maintain shoulder stability. One more each side, so it'll be left arm up, right arm down to finish. Meet over the shoulders, lower down. Now let's go back into our hip hinge that we did at the start. So take the body forwards. Find your end range, which is where we find our hamstring stretch. Knees slightly soft, so really, really small bend. We're going to do the same exercise that we've just done standing in this position. So it's going to be more load on the torso, more work for our postural muscles. Hands to the front of the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, one arm forwards, one arm back. This time palm faces down on the front arm, palm faces up on the back arm. Inhale, hands to shoulders. Exhale, press out. Inhale, bend in. Now this exercise is called boxing. We're trying to feel the power and the length through the arms as we reach, and how much the torso has to stabilize as we move. So we're not bending to one side, we're not twisting, we're not rounding, and we're definitely not extending. So any of those movements of the spine we want to get rid of here. Last one each side. So one more with the right, one more with the left. Meet over the shoulders, lower the arms in front of you. We're going to stay in this position, we're going to fly. So the arms open out, shoulder blades draw in, arms lower, and then we'll stand up, hip hinge, arms open, lower, all the way up to standing. Hip hinge. Can you find that hamstring stretch? Now when we do our fly, arms open out, shoulder blades initiate. How wide can you feel your chest? Now when I feel my upper back working and my arms open, my lower back wants to arch. My front ribs want to pop out. Can you close the ribs, lengthen your tailbone and lift your pubic bone? So those actions are going to make your core work harder. That's how we make every Pilates exercise a core exercise. Now we stay down, just the fly. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up to standing. Now I'm going to face you, hands and weights to the hips, feet in parallel, and we're going to start to take your weight onto your left leg. Step your right foot out to the side, feet remain in parallel, knees bend into a squat. Body hinges forwards, push off your right leg, step back into parallel. Shift to the right, step out with the left, squat down, push up, step in. Now we've gone slow, we can go a little bit quicker, but remember coordination of the knees bending as the foot lands, the legs straightening as the leg comes in is really paramount here. We want to make sure that we've got the coordination, we have the control of our spine. So you go slow if you need to, focus more on your alignment. You can go faster if you want to challenge your ability to maintain your alignment. We're going to do 2 more each side, and Last one each side. Now when we step out to the right, we're going to stay out to the right. Nice deep bend. Shift your weight to the right, straighten your left leg. Weight is all over your right leg now. Shift your weight to the left, straighten your right leg. And shift. Body stays the same height from the floor. We're not allowing our spine to round, keeping the length. And we're just moving side to side, shifting our weight. Now arms come forwards, we fly and lower. Fly and lower. Fly and lower. Fly and stay. Now shift your weight all the way over to your right leg. I'm just going to have to move this way because the wall's there. Lower your hands to your hip. Let's focus on this left leg. You're going to exhale, tap in, inhale, tap out. Tap in, tap out. Now notice that my body's not shifting side to side because I've got all my weight on my right leg. If you were to take it on and off your left leg, your body's going to move from left to right. Add your fly. In, lower. In, lower the arms. Okay. Stay out with the leg. Just the fly. 3, 2, hold it here. Outside leg lifts, lower. Lift, lower, lift, lower, lift, lower. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Pulse the leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Left foot goes down, hands to hips, squat and step all the way. And I'm going to move this way a little bit. We've got that other side to do now. So step wide with the left foot, find your squat. Okay, we shift to the left, shift to the right. So really feel your quadricep drawing the knee up to straighten the leg. Side and side. Let's add the fly. So we open and lower. Open and lower. Just 2 more. And lower. Open. Hands to hip. Step in. Tap out. Now it's not really a step. Step is where you put your weight. It's a tap. It's a very, very gentle tap because we want to load this left leg, which is going to load the hip. You're going to feel the work there. Maybe the quad as well. Let's add the fly. So we open and in. Open. How's the spine doing? Are you supporting your lower back or are you loading it? We want to support it. We don't want to feel any compression right now. Now we stay out, just the fly. And 3, 2, keep the arms wide, lift the leg. 8, 7, really tiny tap. And 5, 4, 3, 2, pulse the leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Step into a squat, hands to the weights. And while we're in our squat, pop your weights down onto the floor. Come all the way up. Take your arms out and behind you. Interlace, roll the shoulders down. Take a nice chest stretch. Okay, release that. Quad stretch. So, not quad stretch, glute stretch, piriformis stretch. Grab anything that you need for support. Ankle over knee. Sit back into a squat. And then change sides. And release. Give the legs a little shake. Give the shoulders a shake. And we are done for today. Hope you enjoyed the class, guys. Please feel free to get in touch if you've got any questions, queries, or feedback. See you again soon. Bye.